Need some fast, cheap, reliable MUT coins? Go to MMOXP.com and use discount code MONEYSHOT for 5% off your order. Link in the description below. Welcome back, YouTubers and Madden fans. This is Madden Money Shot, sniffing out the Madden cheese as always. Today I'm going to be going over how to play defense in Madden 20. This video, I'm basically getting a lot of comments of people saying that they're having a hard time figuring out the new adjustments. EA did something in Madden 20 where the pre-snap adjustments are really different this year. The assignments that you can assign players to what zones, it just changed. And I've noticed that a lot of people in my comment sections are having a hard time figuring out what the new adjustments are. So I'm going to go over that in extensive detail. Most of this is going to be pre-snap. If you guys want to see, how to be a better pass defender, how to be a better run defender, I can do those in separate videos. But basically, in this, what I'm going to do is show you how to set up your plays, because a lot of times you can win or lose games based off of how you set up your play pre-snap. I mean, the outcome can almost be decided based off of making the correct adjustments pre-snap. Other than that, let's go ahead and let's start off by picking. Picking a play is really important. That's probably the first step. Pretty much 9 times out of 10, you're going to want to wait for your opponent to pick their play first. You might have a favorite play or a favorite series of plays, but you don't want to come out in a 5-2 and then they're coming out in a 4 wide receiver set. So it's really important to wait for them to pick their play. While you're waiting, though, I would also say it makes sense to do your audibles, which if you come into one, pick any play, go into any formation, then hit the LT button, and you're going to see it brings up your audible plays. So at this point, if I have a series, like when I put out, defensive videos, a lot of times I'll put out 3 or 4 in a scheme. So I want to have all 3 of them set up here. So let's say in your audibles, typically you want a man, you want a blitz, you want a cover 2, a cover 3. If you have a good cover 4, you want to have them all in your audibles in pretty much every formation that you're going to use predominantly. So you can set that up ahead of time. That has nothing to do with your opponent. You're going to want to have this series of plays set up before it doesn't, because this is going to be something you're going to be using throughout the game. So once you set up your audibles, and then once your opponent picks their play, say they pick a 3 wide receiver set, then I'm going to want to pick a 3, some with 3 DBs, or if they pick a heavy formation with a tight end and a fullback, or 2 tight ends, I'm going to want to pick something like a 4-3. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much how you're going to want to mirror what they're doing. If you hit R3, which is if you just press in the right stick, it'll bring up your menu here. And there's been some changes. I mean, last year, I don't think last year the D-pad I think was optional. This year, if you want to make defensive line or linebacker adjustments, you need to hit the D-pad. And you can see the way that the picture is, like the little diagram there, it's not even that clear. Like, it's not even a really great picture. So it's like, I can understand how people will just pass right by that and don't even notice it. Now, obviously, I'll go over the easiest stuff first. Obviously, showing play art, you just hit LT. People probably know that. That didn't change. But last year, I'm pretty sure last year, the defensive keys, the LB button, which, I guess I'll take this away. The LB button, I think, was what people were used to. And last year, if you hit the LB button and you hit down on the right stick, I think that was guessing something different entirely. I don't remember because that was so long ago. But that was something different. Now, if you do that, you're guessing run. If I hit LB like last year and hit down on the right stick, you're guessing run up the middle, which when you watch this play, anybody knows if you guess run up the middle and it's not a run, it's a pass, you're just leaving everybody butt naked in coverage. You know what I mean? So I've seen people in my comment section saying they're making that mistake. So without a doubt, now to guess pass or to guess run, and I don't want to guess run at any point. I don't want to guess run up the middle. If I want to guess pass, we'll go over the LB adjustment real quick, because like I said, obviously that's changed. If I want to guess pass, I'm just going to LB and then up on the right stick, and I'm going to guess pass. So that's something that you're probably going to use quite a bit. The run right, the run left, the run up the middle, I don't recommend using that at any point, because at any point that you use that, you're going to be getting burnt for touchdowns. So those are really just kind of worthless. Then on the other side, you have your shift defense, which, for some people, I don't even know if shift defense was an option last year. You always have the option to shift your line and your linebackers, and I'll go over that in a moment. But to shift your defense entirely, I don't think was ever really a thing. You can see, like, if I have, say they have 2 tight ends to the one side there, I can just shift my defense, over if I think that's what a run's going. Or say I think that they're running a toss play weak a lot, I can shift the entire defense. Like I said, I don't think that was in the game last year, but I don't necessarily remember 100%. And then obviously you can pinch your entire defense. You can do that again. You can spread your entire defense. So it's like, that's pretty cool that's an option. We don't have to go over the manual. You don't have to go over step by step to make sure you're spreading your lines, spreading your linebackers. You have that quick option. So like I said, I think a lot of people for a lot of people that might be easier, but like I said, I think it's also confusing a lot of people because it's based on a button that was very different last year. Now you also have your QB contain, which is in the same thing. If you have a quarterback that's running out of the pocket a lot, a QB contain will be very good. That'll, the second they leave the pocket too much to the left or too much to the right, they're going to get sacked. So the QB contain is really important when it comes to a lot of blitzes. So that's just, the quickest way to remember that is just LBRB. You know what I'm saying? LBRB right away. Or L1, L2 if you're on PlayStation right away. You're just going to create that. QB contain, which, like I said, can be very helpful. If you don't know how to do that adjustment and you're playing against somebody who's running around with Russell Wilson or running around with Kyler Murray, if you don't know how to do that adjustment, you're in trouble. So obviously that's really important. So like I said, the LB adjustments are pretty simple. You have your option QB, your option RB. So if you're somebody's running running a lot of options like I do personally, you can just bring up LB or L1 and run it again. And you think they're going to hold it with the quarterback, hit A. If they think they're going to hold it with the running back, hit X. Which, once again, last year I'm pretty sure that was different. So the LB button is probably the most different than last year, but without a doubt, there's definitely a lot of differences as well. So back to the adjust defense menu. Like I said, I got a lot of people asking me based off the last defensive video I put out, how do you adjust the linebackers? How do you adjust, without going manually over them and making them, into hard flats or whatever. So like I said, a lot of people are struggling with that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to explain that right now. So really the D-pad last year I think was like a secondary option, where I don't really exactly remember what the D-pad did last year, but this year it has a very specific purpose, which is the defensive line, the linebackers. And those little icons don't really do justice as far as showing you that. I don't think it's a very good picture. But if I want to control what my linebackers adjustments are, I hit the D-pad to the right, and now I have all my linebackers. And then once again, I can shift them the same way. You know what I'm saying? It brings up the same menu where I can shift them left or right. And you can see I'm not even really getting much shift out of the other linebacker. But that's something that you know. And then I mean, pretty much once you figure out how to bring up the linebacker screen, a lot of the same buttons do a lot of the same thing. Like if I want to blitz the outside linebacker, it's right on the right stick. Blitz the left linebacker, it's right on the left stick. I'm sorry, left on the right stick once again. Once you hit right on the D-pad, it's a little bit easier. But a lot of people I feel don't even know how to get to it. So once I bring up the icons for each individual linebacker position, now I have the option to change them to whatever I want them to do. So I got to hit A. Say I want to make this guy into something. I got to hit A. Burns there, the rookie. So I hit A. It brings up my options, and now I have hard flat, which is left on the left stick. Curl flat, which is right on the left stick. You have your right stick options as well. So it's a pretty easy to understand diagram. If you do, the only thing that would really change is if I wanted to man cover somebody, I gotta pick who I want them to cover. So if I hit up on the right stick, now I gotta hit A if I want them to cover Ertz. Whatever. But if I put them in something like a hard flat, which is, left on the right stick, I then have the option to change that. Like I can have them in a hard flat, or I can even put them in a curl flat, say. If I want to change that to a hard flat or to a cloud flat, I can do that without going through all that again. I just have to hit the Y button. Then I got to pick over top or underneath. If I pick underneath, it's a hard flat. If I pick over the top, it's going to be a cloud flat. So to me, I just put them on whatever flat, and then I have that option to pick that after the play. So that's how you're going to do that. Like I said, you're going to individually pick them. Say I want to, typically if I want to blitz somebody, I can just, blitz the inside linebackers. You can do that manually by going over them and just, hitting A and then, bringing up your menu. But it's whatever. So the defensive line, same thing. Left on the D-pad now. If I want to pinch, slant outside, pinch, spread, whatever, it's going to be all coming from the left on the D-pad. And when you come into run defense and even pass defense, sometimes if you don't know how to spread, you're going to be in trouble. You also have your secondary. This one here, you hit Y twice. The last thing I'm going to go over in this video is the X Factor vision. If you hold the RT button and then you have the right in the center there, it says you have the right stick, which is going to be down will be the Eagles, up it will be the Panthers. This right here basically highlights the X Factor players and what their abilities are, which is pretty nice. I mean, you can see like, right off the bat. I mean, that's one of the things I like that EA did. They put in the X Factors, which are a little bit overpowered, but they make it really accessible so that you know what you're looking at. So that's it. That's the vid. I mean, we're just going over the defensive adjustments. If you want to see a video like this, I mean, there's offensive adjustments that change too, but I don't think people are having as much trouble with that. People are typically better at offense. So let me know in the comment section with the like button if you want to see that next. Other than that, thanks for watching. Madden Money Shot out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.